hours and availability. Sun Valley Lanes and Games, located at 321 Victory Lane.
Lincoln's best place to meet, eat, and compete. Sun Valley.
The Rabbit Hole Bakery, located at 8th and Q in the Haymarket, is the ideal place for fresh breakfast items or desserts made daily. Cream puffs, cinnamon rolls, carrot cake, sweet potato, pecan cookies, brownies, blondies. Do I need to keep going? What about bread pudding with homemade bourbon caramel sauce? Stop by the Rabbit Hole Bakery at 8th and Q in the Haymarket today to satisfy your cravings. And if you're looking for larger group orders, they do that too. Order ahead on their website at therabbitholebakery.com today.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
General Fire and Safety has been keeping Lincoln businesses and commercial structures safe for more than 50 years. From a simple fire extinguisher to full fire suppression systems, Lincoln has trusted General Fire and Safety to provide top-of-the-line products, installation, and maintenance. If you're starting a new business in a brand new building, call on General Fire and Safety to help you plan a fire safety system that fits the specific needs of your business, employees, and customers. Call General Fire and Safety today at 402-261-0116.
It's the fall sports season, and that means that the school year is back in session and you're planning road trips for Nebraska football games and following your kids around to their different events. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors lot is full of great vehicles to take home so you don't have to worry about your current car struggling through another season. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Lake and find your next ride. As your fall schedule gets busy, you'll need a reliable way to get to your destinations. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Fall is here, which means it's time to dive into a new lineup of autumn flavors at Wings and Rings. Your home away from home during football season. Their all-star lineup of wing sauces is adding 2 new impact players, curry garlic and pumpkin chili. Need something delicious before kickoff? How about starting your meal with their brand new chorizo nachos and loaded fries? You better act fast. These new tastes of autumn won't be here long. So make the trip to one of their 2 Lincoln locations today on O Street or Village Lane. The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeyman electricians from $32.50 to $42.50 per hour with paid benefits. And if you're looking for a new career, they're hiring apprentices at $19.50 per hour with paid benefits. Call the office at 402-423-4497 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call Greens at 402-467-4444 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-467-4444. Hey guys, it's Austin with 93.7 The Ticket. We've got a full Sunday of NFL action for you here on our airwaves. Starting at noon, we've got an interleague game between the struggling Cleveland Browns and the up-and-down Philadelphia Eagles. The afternoon game kicks off at 3:45 from Dallas, with both the Detroit Lions and Dallas Cowboys putting their 2-game win streaks on the line, looking to make it 3 in a row in a key NFC playoff picture matchup. You can catch all the biggest NFL games right here on Lincoln's home for the NFL, 93.7 The Ticket.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves them, that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up? Happy Friday of the bye week. Jay Foreman, Austin Norman, DP will be in soon. We are Old School Crew coming at you live here from 1040 O Street. I always say it's the mecca of sports radio, not only in the city of Lincoln, but actually the state of Nebraska. We are brought to you, Old School is brought to you by the Mercado, certified Piedmontese, special ingredients at Butcher Shop, 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, 85th and Andromat, and 168th and Maple up there in the O. Before we get started on it, tune in 8 o'clock tonight, late night. Me and Nick we haven't been able to call a lot of high school games because the ticket has done a really good, cool thing is that we have we have national guys like people that like myself or whatever, Mon Green, so forth, like that. But obviously people know now that the ticket has went national. Let alone doing the Royals, obviously where Austin was yesterday and last 2 days, excuse me, Austin. But we're doing national games for college football and national games for the NFL. So then therefore it's kind of, not messed up, but changed the schedule for high school football. So me and Nick will be calling North Star Gators, the Gators, against Grand Island Islanders. Pretty cool. There's quite a few kids that I train and mentor that are going to be playing. And North Star is an upstart team. They're 4-2. Might be the best team in Lincoln. And Grand Island is very young. One of Lincoln's own. Gavin Sim is out there as a young sophomore playing. And so it's going to be cool to obviously call the game, but then see some of these guys play. And then, this weekend is a bye week, but still going to have a lot of stuff going on around here at the ticket, like always. Got games on national level, college football, then obviously Sunday NFL games as well. So when you can, stop into the mill, but then also stop in and support the ticket. We came a long way from 48th and O Street, essentially, over there across the street from Schaefer's. Down here to right in the middle of it all, 11th and O Street, 1040 O Street, excuse me. And this weekend, especially with this slate of college football, will obviously highlight here at the ticket locally and nationally, just because they don't just, I can't speak for DP, but he'll probably tell you is that you don't get the chance to broadcast national games unless you have national prowess and people that you can say, hey, this is what we're doing, how we're doing it, so forth and so on. So pretty good lineup that we got going on here, a variety of different mindsets, thoughts, and show types. So that's always good. And variety is what we provide, but then also hopefully a knowledge of wealth and personalities along to go with it. But we got about 8 minutes here, Austin. We'll talk a little Royals. I know you probably talked about it all day. I did watch last night. I thought Garrett. I know you did. I thought Garrett Cole. I know he'd been pitching well, right? I think pretty much since the All-Star break, he's been. I think his ERA is like a little over 2. But the Garrett Cole that I know from Houston. I just felt like once he shaved his beard off, I thought he lost his superpowers. He still's got a little bit left in him.
He did.
He was in rhythm last night.
Yes.
And that's a big thing with him. Now, he has power, right? He's a power pitcher, or can be a power pitcher. But I think he sometimes in the playoffs, and maybe this is him, that maybe it was him getting used to pitching in New York, which is significantly different than pitching, in Pittsburgh, where he started, in Houston. In the playoffs for New York is way different. So I think he maybe has struggled at times with that. And anybody would. Yeah. But man, he was in rhythm. And for me, playing a little bit of baseball and obviously, watch it and, obviously, not that I didn't play it professionally. But the one thing that always I look at for pitchers is when they can be in rhythm from when they get the ball, accept whatever pitch they're going to throw, be in rhythm, getting it over the plate, whether it's a strike or a hittable ball or a ball that's out of the strike zone, and keep them. And he never lost rhythm.
No, and some of that is you have to credit a pitcher that was at the top of his game, right?
Yeah.
7 innings from him, wobbly a couple times, but obviously never broke. Some of that is a testament to him, and that's what Yankees fans are saying today is, hey, look at the guy that won the AL Cy Young last year. The guy that we paid to be our ace showed up, right?
Yeah.
Not the biggest game of their season yet, right? They hope it's not the biggest game of their season, but it's a big test that he passed. He came through for him in a big moment. On the flip side of that, if you're the Royals, you kind of let him off the hook a little bit, right? It's not like the Royals weren't squaring him up.
Right.
Couple balls they hit hard just right at people. I think back to Bobby Witt Jr.'s second at bat, 114.7 miles per hour off the bat.
Yeah.
Right at the left fielder.
Yeah.
A shot to the warning track from MJ Melendez off of Garrett Cole. One off of a reliever from Kyle Isbell to the warning track as well. The Royals had their chances in the game just like the Yankees did, but the Yankees had a 1-0 lead 3 pitches into the game.
Yeah.
And as a pitcher who relies on rhythm like Garrett Cole does, who, like you said, still a power pitcher, but not nearly as overpowering as he was even, 2-3 years ago, he's lost a little bit. That's fine coming back from an injury, but the Royals didn't necessarily put together, those pesky at-bats, right? They didn't find ways to foul off pitches, wait till they got one in the zone and take advantage. They were aggressive.
Yeah.
That's who this Royals team is and who it's always been. They didn't take a lot of pitches. They didn't spoil many pitches. So they got out early in the count instead of kind of like what happened to Michael Wacha. The Yankees were so patient. They drove his pitch count up, took advantage a little bit, 1 run in the first, 1 in the 5th, and 1 in the 6th, I believe. Never a big inning, but against an offense that was struggling like the Royals with that pitcher, the way Garrett Cole was throwing on the mound, mixing pitches the way he was, that was more than enough for the Yankees.
Yeah, it was over pretty early. And I want to ask you, do you think it was more of a lack of experience for the Royals of being that? Because I think the Yankees, they have a lot of experience, in their lineup. That they kind of, I don't think if they, I don't know if they're in the clubhouse and they talk about it, but I think they just know this is the pitcher. If we get a lead, we're gonna just slowly but surely, like a python, just squeeze them and squeeze them and squeeze them. And they took the life out of the stadium, and that wasn't by chance. That looked like it was purposeful, taking some pitches and driving, like you said, driving up that pitch count. People generally go to baseball games, obviously see home runs, and secondly see strikeouts. But when you're in the playoffs, they want to see action.
Yeah.
And there was no action.
No.
And then on the flip side, and this is no different in football. And I remember, and I'm thinking about when the Vikings lost to the Falcons. All the action was by the away team. And when I remember being at 1998, the Vikings were 15-1. And Gary Anderson didn't miss a field goal all year. And here come the Falcons, them dirty birds. And right from the get-go, usually, all right, they come off a bye. They just walk the ball down the field. Okay, the Vikings answer a little bit, don't score, but Atlanta does it again. So then, but what it did was it just set the tone and took that kind of, energy and that like ferociousness out of the fan base. And now you're just sitting back and it's like, the game just was blah, from the Royals standpoint.
Absolutely it was. And I think you could tell that. I mean, I could tell walking into the stadium when it started filling in. There were 40,000 announced attendance on Wednesday night. I think it was 37, 38, maybe I want to say. But it felt like closer to 30, right? The energy just felt like there was like 10% less buzz, if you want to describe it that way. Jazz Chisholm got booed pretty similarly both nights, but you could just tell there wasn't the same anger.
Right.
The cheers, there were still some decent crowd pops, but not to the same level as 2 nights ago last night. I think part of that is just due to the fact that Wednesday night was the first playoff baseball game in Kansas City since 2015, right? There's a lot of pent up energy there. But then, Jay, I think we see this with teams all the time. It's represented in fan bases as well. Some teams, when they're facing elimination, when they're in an uncomfortable position, instead of bottling that up and using it, they get tense. They don't know what to do with it. And some of it is, post hoc analysis where we can certainly say the Royals maybe underachieved or didn't rise to the moment because they're young. And that's fair, right? Bobby Witt Jr.'s first postseason. Michael Massey was pretty good.
Right.
Benny Pasquantino, first postseason. Seth Lugo, first one in a while. Michael Wacha, first one in a while. Cole Reagan's first postseason ever. Lucas Ursay, up and down the list. So, yes, it's true that the Royals hadn't been there before, and I'm sure that contributed. But also, Jay, I just think the Yankees were just a little bit better. The Royals got beat by a better team. We saw who the Royals were all year. It's what got them there, and it's what did them in at the end. So I think it's fair to maybe blame a little bit of the inexperience in the postseason for both the players and the fans, maybe to some degree as well. But let's also not forget, this was the expected outcome at the same time.
And I have experience with it, not with the Royals, but as a Twins fan, when I was just talking about this yesterday with Tom Kelly. He would, we'd go, win the division and get there against the Yankees, and it'd be over, just like that.
Yeah, Yanks own the Twins.
Right. And
Crazy.
it was like, was Joe Mao or Justin Morneau, those they all of a sudden would go combine 1 of 25, and it would just like everybody would ask what happened. Actually, it'd probably be like 2 of 15 or something, or 2 of 12 or whatever. And the Yankees were just better. If the Kansas City was able to do it and they weren't able to, it would have been historic for them to beat this Yankee team.
Yeah.
Considering also with the pressure that Boone and the Yankee clubhouse and team was under to get to this point. So you should have had to expect that Cole. I should have expected Cole to come through, everybody else to come through, Stanton to come through, because you know what? Like Stanton said, this is what you brought me here for. They're like, pretty much, who cares about the regular season? I'm here to get busy right now. On to the next. And so, we'll see what happens tonight between the Guardians and the Tigers, and that's still who they play.
And see, this is what just irks me, is that it's the Yankees that just beat the Royals, or 2 division opponents on the other side.
Yeah.
Royals fans don't win.
Oh, yeah.
In the American League side anymore. It's kind of unfortunate from that regard. But New York is the favorite in the American League. They have been, really since Houston was eliminated. Maybe they were the favorite before as well. Yankees are good. They're better than I thought they were going to be. Stanton wasn't great in the regular season, but
he's healthy,
he's
though.
heating up.
Yeah,
in the postseason.
yeah.
Judge and Soto, historically good. And with Garrett Cole on the mound, you're going to be in the game anyway.
Yeah.
So maybe I overlooked the Yankees a little bit. I'm bummed the Royals couldn't take one at Kauffman. But again, it's just kind of, they were the better team all along.
Yeah. Well, anyways, we got some more tonight, too. You got the Padres and Dodgers. Boy, I don't know. Padres, if they just come in, I think the Padres' mindset is different than the Royals. They're just going to let it all hang. But they got star power, too. So, and they can match you star for star.
Tatis and Bobby Witt Jr. are not wires.
Yeah. No. Tatis doesn't. He's there. You're there for his party.
Manny Machado and Salvador Perez.
Right.
Not wired the same
They're
way.
going to do those. They're there to get busy and have fun, while they're doing it. So, we'll see who pulls through tonight. We're going to take a quick break, come back, and we'll dive into some college football. We got some games tonight here, Austin. We got Northwestern at Maryland, right? We talked to DP yesterday. Utah at Arizona State.
Yeah.
And then also, here's also one here at 8 o'clock. UNLV at Utah State. Utah State, listen, the play, I wish DP was here. He knows all things Utah. Between the University of Utah, BYU, what was it, Weber State, and Utah State?
Yeah.
Boy, listen. Hey, UNLV going to go up there and might get put under a spell. I always talk about New Orleans. I'm going to ask DP about Utah State, because I'm telling you, people get up in Logan, Utah, and this is a perfect game for an upset. And I'm just saying this right now. UNLV's favored by 19-20. Them dudes in Vegas want everybody to bet. They want to make some money. Yeah, you guys lost. Now we got to make some money on you. Anyways, we're going to take a quick break. Old school, Jay Foreman, Austin Norman. Quick break, and we'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Load up on meat and more this fall at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's special through October 15th is $2 off tray packaged ground beef, $2 off hot dogs, 15% off cookbooks, and buy one, get one 50% off on hardcore carnivore seasoning. Locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Highway 2 in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town. The Rabbit Hole Bakery, located at 8th and Q in the Haymarket, is the ideal place for fresh breakfast items or desserts made daily. Cream puffs, cinnamon rolls, carrot cake, sweet potato, pecan cookies, brownies, blondies. Do I need to keep going? What about bread pudding with homemade bourbon caramel sauce? Stop by the Rabbit Hole Bakery at 8th and Q in the Haymarket today to satisfy your cravings. And if you're looking for larger group orders, they do that too. Order ahead on their website at therabbitholebakery.com today.
Hi, this is State Senator Carolyn Bozin. As a state senator, wife, and mom, I believe Nebraska is a great place to work and raise a family. My husband Reggie and I are local family business owners and proud to be involved in our community. Property tax relief is important to every family. Last year, I voted for the largest property tax relief package in Nebraska history, and I will continue to advocate for property tax relief. Vote Carolyn Bosin on November 5th. Paid for by Bosin for Legislature.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
General Fire and Safety has been keeping Lincoln businesses and commercial structures safe for more than 50 years. From a simple fire extinguisher to full fire suppression systems, Lincoln has trusted General Fire and Safety to provide top-of-the-line products, installation, and maintenance. If you're starting a new business in a brand new building, call on General Fire and Safety to help you plan a fire safety system that fits the specific needs of your business, employees, and customers. Call General Fire and Safety today at 402-261-0116.
Hello, this is Mary Pat Waite. I've had the privilege of working with Lincoln families as their realtor for more than 31 years, and I'm so proud to be associated with MP Dodge Real Estate. For me, your transaction is unique in its own way. My experience allows me to bring you trusted care and a really great outcome. My NP Dodge family shares the same client focus.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
Sartor Hamann Jewelers is celebrating 119 years as Lincoln's top choice for fine jewelry. Join us for our anniversary sale, going on now through October 20th. Enjoy an exclusive 20% off on in-stock items, including dazzling diamond jewelry, exquisite rings, and luxury watches. This once-a-year event is our way of saying thank you to the community that has supported us for over a century. Mark your calendars and celebrate this milestone with us by indulging in spectacular savings. Only at Sartor Hamann Jewelers.
It's the fall sports season, and that means that the school year is back in session and you're planning road trips for Nebraska football games and following your kids around to their different events. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors Lot is full of great vehicles to take home so you don't have to worry about your current car struggling through another season. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Lake and find your next ride. As your fall schedule gets busy, you'll need a reliable way to get to your destinations. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Fall is here, which means it's time to dive into a new lineup of autumn flavors at Wings and Rings. Your home away from home during football season. Their all-star lineup of wing sauces is adding 2 new impact players, curry garlic and pumpkin chili. Need something delicious before kickoff? How about starting your meal with their brand new chorizo nachos and loaded fries? You better act fast. These new tastes of autumn won't be here long. So make the trip to one of their 2 Lincoln locations today on O Street or Village Lane.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Hey guys, it's Austin with 93.7 The Ticket. We've got a full Sunday of NFL action for you here on our airwaves. Starting at noon, we've got an interleague game between the struggling Cleveland Browns and the up-and-down Philadelphia Eagles. The afternoon game kicks off at 3:45 from Dallas, with both the Detroit Lions and Dallas Cowboys putting their 2-game win streaks on the line, looking to make it 3 in a row in a key NFC playoff picture matchup. You can catch all the biggest NFL games right here on Lincoln's home for the NFL, 93.7 The Ticket.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back. Jay Foreman, Austin Orman, DP, the old school crew is back in effect. Second segment of 4 o'clock hour. Recap the Royals Yankees. Now we're diving into NCAA football. Me and DP did our pick'ems. Got Austin in here. But DP, now we can kind of do some games, I guess, that aren't the headliners. Now, obviously, I think we need to take a deep dive into Ohio State, Oregon. But I think an interesting game here, obviously, as we know the guys, is Northwestern at Maryland. Because obviously we both love Mike Locksley.
Mm-hmm.
Northwestern was the belle of the ball last year. Up until Maryland playing at Indiana, I think that they were a sneaky surprise how well they've, I guess, recovered from Talia leaving and obviously losing 2 receivers to the NFL. They got him be a running back, and then like their 4th or 5th receivers turned into the number 1. But then they laid an egg against Indiana, and now they play Northwestern team that has some more built-in swagger than people give them credit for. I think their offense is probably even last year was way more explosive than people gave them credit. I don't know how they did it, but they just did it. And now they play, and Northwestern going to play defense. And this is kind of the perfect Northwestern game. Friday night. So, they playing it up, go on the road. They probably like going on the road more than playing at that little cheap soccer stadium that they're playing in there right now. What's your feelings on Northwestern at Maryland?
Well, Northwestern's real issue, as usual in the Big Ten, against a talented Big Ten opponent, is that they have to provide their own juice.
Yeah.
And that doesn't always translate. It's hard to produce your own juice at home. You're going to go on a Friday night to the DMV. You're going to go to College Park, Maryland.
Yeah.
And College Park, Maryland is not the energy center of
the
East Coast.
That's
just not how it works,
Yeah,
right?
1,500. John Rothstein is the spring break capital of the Northeast, though. So it's got that going.
Well, here's the thing. You try to go through, and again, the buzz in that weekend. Imagine this weekend, you fly in most towns, they're the college story. They're the sports story.
Yeah.
Except you're flying into the DMV on a weekend when the Commanders and the Ravens are playing.
Man. Man, we need that's the game I wish we got credentials.
Right.
For.
And the juice is all around them, but it's not about them.
Oh no. Yeah, this is kind of like we'll just look on the news.
So this one is one of the rare instances where College Park legitimately has an advantage for the Terps. Because the juice around it, the NFL dudes all know the Terps.
Yeah.
They know them. And if you're there about it, those folks end up in the stadium tonight. They end up on the sideline.
That is true.
ESPN will have them on camera. Fox Sports will have them on camera, showing the Ravens who are hanging out on a Friday night in the DMV. And Northwestern, you'll get distracted. But them your people. Them your people.
You got distracted.
Hey, yeah, right. Right. That's really what it is. That, to me, it's a Northwestern can have a moment to pop, and then Maryland runs away with it. Like I just they have too many playmakers in bad matchups for Northwestern, and 100% Maryland could Maryland this thing, but I think this version of the Terps is better.
Yeah,
good enough to get them a double-digit win at home on a Friday night.
Yeah, and I think the way that Northwestern played early against Indiana was probably what they want all year. But I think the biggest eyesore for me for Northwestern, especially of what they did last year and bringing back all the offensive, I guess power in their roster back, is losing to Duke. He lost 26-20. And then not being able to muster a touchdown against Washington. Yes, it's at Washington. But you knew you were going out to Washington before the season started based on the schedule. I think the offense is really lacking. And I think Maryland, like DP says, pulls away with it based on the situation. And I will tell you this, it's an NFL game, but we're talking about college football. We got 6 minutes left, so we can just dive into it. It's Friday. We can kind of jump all over the place. Let me tell you something right now. And DP, we talked about this when we first got on air too. The fact that you've had the vision and the wherewithal to really go national, right? You've been national players. I've been national players. You got Monger. That's the lineup. But the ability I was telling everybody, you just don't get to play national games because you have a radio station.
Mm-hmm.
You got to have something with it. And I will tell you this, that dang game Washington, Baltimore. That's what, like, if I was a player, that's what you play for. That game right there. There's certain places that you play in the NFL that you either wish you played for, right? So obviously me being, family from Frederick would be Baltimore or at that time the Redskins, but preferably for me the Redskins. I grew up watching the Redskins with my grandma when in like Pittsburgh. But when Washington is legitimately good, and there's no doubt they're good, right? And Baltimore is. And when they lock up, it's an intensity of Nebraska, Colorado. It's a rivalry. It's going to be chippy, and it's going to be a really exciting game. So if you got a chance to tune in, make sure you tune in, man. That's going to be awesome.
Think of Huskers Creighton if it were football.
Nebraska, Iowa basketball,
right,
or Nebraska football. Yeah. Husker. Yeah. Oh yeah,
right?
For sure.
That there is a natural and deeply rooted toxin.
It's not even that far away.
Well, it's the thing that Baltimore will. It's kind of the thing that Baltimore looks at DC with that the onion under the nose face.
You know what it is? It's Oakland, San Fran.
100%.
Just right over the Bay Bridge. Yeah.
It's Yankees Mets when it's in that real proximity where you're way too familiar with the other one. And Mets fans really don't understand why they're number 2, although they really do. Like, they don't want to be the number 2 team.
They don't want to face it.
Like, they don't. The Brooklyn Nets have a full understanding that they'll never be the Knicks. They'll never be the Knicks.
Yeah.
And take the Boston and New York disdain and multiply it and then condense it into one space. Duke, North Carolina, the natural disdain of looking at the dude across the street or the dude whose backyard is connected to yours, and you checking out his wife to see, it's like, wait a minute, that better not be better than mine.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You're looking on the grill. Hey, man, that meat coming off the mill a little different.
Yeah.
Right? Christmas lights. What y'all doing?
Yeah. It's like being at a family reunion, and one family, one side, it's all same family, one from one part of the country, one part from the next, and you have like the family reunion Olympics, and it isn't just for fun.
What Steve Harvey said, Sister Odell, sitting in church. He come this sorry when he
yeah. You listen, when you play against teams, like, there is no love lost and nobody's being holy against that, man. It's going to be a great weekend of sports and football. You know, obviously is going to lead the way. So yeah, I mean, it starts tonight, man. I think that Northwestern Maryland game is going to be huge for Maryland. I think Northwestern is going to spend the rest of their season trying to keep their head above water. When you look at Northwestern's schedule, right? Let's just assume that they lose to Maryland. Wisconsin probably. That's a toss-up game, right? But because they got them at home.
They'll be a 10-point underdog for Wisconsin.
But they got Wisconsin at home.
Yeah.
That's their only help, because again, they're not playing at home. They're playing where you got to really bring your juice. And Wisconsin's been suspect at best.
Yep.
At Iowa, that's a definitely L.
Yep.
Okay, you got Purdue's a must-win. That's got to be must-win. By that time, Walters might be looking for.
Those are the last two folks at the bar, bro.
Right.
They got to make some decisions, man.
Then you know they're losing to Ohio State, and you know they're losing to Michigan. And then if you're able to beat Purdue, and just say you can beat Wisconsin, okay? So Purdue, Wisconsin, well, that's just 5 wins.
Mm-hmm.
So that leaves you one short.
Tonight is big.
Tonight is big.
So
I was thinking Illinois was going to be pushing. Yeah. Well, Northwest, could they get in with the academic thing?
Yeah, they might.
Right?
They might.
You know they got the GPA. They in there.
Right. Special bowl.
Yeah. So this is a huge game for them, because Maryland has a little bit of a leeway here when you look at Maryland's schedule real quick before we hit break. Right. For them, Northwestern. I guarantee you Mike Locksley likes his chances to go out there at USC if they don't punch themselves in the face, which they've shown the ability or inability not to do. At Minnesota, it's all about if the defense can hold up against the run. They feel, I guarantee you, they feel like they can score. Oregon, L. Rutgers, he likes his chances, right? Because I think the kryptonite of his offense is Rutgers' kryptonite as far as spread. We've seen it with Nebraska. Spread them out, right? Mike Locksley has never backed down to Iowa, right? Then you go at Penn State, and that's a rivalry game. Now, I'm assuming by November 30th, Penn State won't be number 4 in the nation.
Yeah, I think that ends Sunday morning.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
I think that ends Sunday morning.
Yeah, so then that gives Maryland a little bit more chances. So this game is interesting because it's a must-win for both teams. Maryland gets the 4 wins if they win. Northwestern gets the 3, potentially could get to that 6. Maryland gets 4. Then you got to think you got a couple in your back pocket that you got to answer the bell down the stretch. It's going to be an intense game, but I think Maryland's going to win as well. Those Turks,
yeah, it's a good night. 3 interesting. But I mean, we're still watching.
We didn't even get to talk about that. UNLV. We'll talk about UNLV after the break. Yeah, because I want to ask you about. Was it Ogden? Is it Ogden, Utah?
Ogden, Utah.
Yeah. See that look on your face. Hey, so we're gonna come back and talk about UNLV 20-point favorite going to Ogden, Utah. I think.
Oh no, they're going to Logan.
Oh, excuse me.
Which is an entirely different conversation.
I'm sorry. I didn't know, Austin. I everybody from Utah, my Utahites, I apologize. I don't know because Ogden is where Weber State is.
Ogden is Weber.
Yes.
Ogden is urban. Logan is agricultural.
Yes. Anyways, we're going to dive into that because I think the agriculture up there, it must be something in the manure. Is no different than all the voodoo down in Louisiana and New Orleans. I think something could happen up there. Jay Foreman, DP Austin, we'll be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and Jay on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, everyone. Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Every home is different. Every family is different. So when it comes to a new heating and cooling system, why not get what fits you best? Get the perfect fit with Bryant. Maybe you need higher efficiency, better humidity control, increased warranty, or all the bells and whistles. Bryant provides options in warranty, brand, comfort, and efficiency while maximizing savings. Call 467-1111 or visit BryantLincoln.com. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
General Fire and Safety has been keeping Lincoln businesses and commercial structures safe for more than 50 years. From a simple fire extinguisher to full fire suppression systems, Lincoln has trusted General Fire and Safety to provide top-of-the-line products, installation, and maintenance. If you're starting a new business in a brand new building, call on General Fire and Safety to help you plan a fire safety system that fits the specific needs of your business, employees, and customers. Call General Fire and Safety today at 402-261-0116.
Load up on meat and more this fall at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's special through October 15th is $2 off tray packaged ground beef, $2 off hot dogs, 15% off cookbooks, and buy one, get one 50% off on hardcore carnivore seasoning. Locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Highway 2 in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
At Farm Bureau Financial Services, we strive to provide you with the right coverages for all your insurance needs by taking the time to meet with you and review what coverages best fit your needs. So whether you're in the market for home, auto, farm, business, life, or a combination of any of these coverages, we can help with making sure you, your family, or your business have the right coverage based on your individual needs. If you would like to review your insurance needs, please contact Ben Spurt with Farm Bureau Financial Services at 402-217-9945 or through email at ben.spurt@fbfs.com.
Ryan, with all this red and all these people around, I'm still not seeing the tailgate.
Todd Spidell, former body shop owner, terrible driver.
We're getting close. Now, did you know with 3 locations in Lincoln and hundreds of years of combined technician experience, we can get Husker fans back on the road even quicker and safer after their tailgate mishaps? Oh, Todd, turn left right here.
Left or right?
Left, right here.
Right?
Well, you wait for the tow truck. I'm getting a hot dog.
Well, I guess while I'm waiting. All right, most recommended Eustace Body Shop. Woohoo!
Dude, you should be on American Idol.
You really think so?
No.
Accidents happen, even to Husker fans. If it happens to you, call Eustace Body Shop, where our customers send their friends.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
It's game on at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Nebraska's premier Kawasaki dealership. Score big on Kawasaki's most dependable side-by-side, the Mule Pro, built to take on your most demanding days. Rule the streets on an Indian motorcycle with customer cash and trade-in credits up to $2,000 during the month of October. On or off-road, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln has you covered with large selection of motorcycles and side-by-sides in stock at their new 27th and I-80 location. Stop by every Saturday for their Husker tailgate with free food, drinks, and games.
You're counting on your team to win, so why not prove it? By placing your bets at Warhorse Sportsbook. Their win is your win. Put your money where your mouth is on nearly every sporting event. Use the Warhorse app to check odds and build your bets before placing your wagers in person at Warhorse Casino, including live in-game betting. No bets, no glory. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see mostly sunny skies and light winds, and warm temperatures with a high around 90. Tonight, cloudy skies, the low around 55. And tomorrow, we'll see mostly sunny skies and light winds, an afternoon high around 84. Meteorologist Kyle Tucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Fall is here, which means it's time to dive into a new lineup of autumn flavors at Wings and Rings, your home away from home during football season. Their all-star lineup of wing sauces is adding 2 new impact players, curry garlic and pumpkin chili. Need something delicious before kickoff? How about starting your meal with their brand new chorizo nachos and loaded fries? You better act fast. These new tastes of autumn won't be here long. So make the trip to one of their 2 Lincoln locations today on O Street or Village Lane.
Hey guys, it's Nick. Join me and Jay Foreman this Friday at 8 p.m. from Seacrest Field as Grand Island takes on Lincoln North Star. The Gators are 4-2 on the year and led by head coach James Thompson, while the Islanders are still searching for their first win of 2024. Kickoff is slated for 8 p.m. with pregame coverage starting at 7:45 p.m. It's the Islanders and the Gators this Friday on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Load up on meat and more this fall at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's special through October 15th is $2 off tray packaged ground beef, $2 off hot dogs, 15% off cookbooks, and buy one, get one 50% off on hardcore carnivore seasoning. Locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Highway 2 in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
With the Planet Fitness Black Card, you don't just get a great workout, you get a great perk out because your membership is packed with perks. For $1 down and $24.99 a month, you'll get perks like access to any of our 2,400 clean and spacious locations. Bring a friend anytime and both work out with tons of equipment that'll give you that big fitness energy. Relax in the Black Card spa and more. Work out and perk out with the PF Black Card. Join for just $1 down and $24.99 a month. Hurry,
this deal ends soon.
See Home Club for details.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Well, we're back. Jay Foreman, DP Austin Norman. Quick segment here. Get back on time on at the end of the 4 o'clock hour, top of 5 o'clock hour. Like we said, DP, UNLV, essentially 19-point favorite going up to Utah State. Now, obviously, Utah State's season's been in flux. They've been blown out repeatedly. But do you think the being on the road, UNLV coming off their disappointment of losing their game at, obviously, they won the first one after the quarterback went into to portal and redshirted, lost last week. Do you think UNLV is going to go up there to prove a point, or do you think Utah State can be pesky and pull an upset?
If you had asked me this 4 weeks ago, the answer is that Utah State's a tough place to play on a Friday night. The crowd, farmers have left the farms a little earlier, gotten into the private stash of corn beverage, and it's a real fight and a feisty mob. But the new quarterback, the replacement quarterback for UNLV, is a dude.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
He's a dude. And listen, he fits exactly in the way that you don't really want to mess with, because this dude puts his foot in the ground.
Yeah.
And likes to get north-south on some lesser athletic human beings. So Logan, Utah is one of my favorite places to watch football because they're all in.
Yeah.
They're all in. And when I say you're in the middle of nowhere, you're in the middle of nowhere. Somehow they end up with enough people to fill that stadium up. But there are 5 times the cows as there are people in Logan, Utah.
Right.
So I'm going to lean with UNLV. One, they're playing for purpose. Right? They have a chance to do something they haven't done in a minute. So you're going to go to a bowl game.
Yeah.
You can keep your things in order and gather yourself and people. Now the discussion is back on football. Logan is an interesting place to play. I don't think it's enough to keep UNLV from winning.
I think on a normal year with when Coach Anderson was there and Utah State has put out some really good players. Yep. I'd probably say that the favor would go to, I would favor Utah State.
Yep.
Firing Coach Anderson that late, and it was weird how it happened with the new AD. He was fired, then they were bringing him back, and then he was suspended. Then they just said, you know what, second or third thought, you're gone. It just really set the tone for their season.
Yeah.
I think UNLV goes up there, and I think they win by 20 plus.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult. I don't know what the weather is, but this is also the fall turn to winter time in Utah. And then late on Friday night, and the later it gets, the weirder the weather gets.
Yeah.
But I just don't think they have there's too many loose strings in Utah State currently. Normally that's a place where BYU don't want to go.
Nobody wants to go to Utah
Nobody
State.
wants to go to Utah State. But in this particular case, I think UNLV is just, what do you say? They're smart. They're just smart enough to not know they should be afraid of going to Logan, Utah.
And the one thing UNLV is, we just talked about the quarterback. What really has led this team to success this year has been the defense. They packed their defense. So I think UNLV wins big. I think they get 2 or 3, 4 turnovers and obviously turn the page on Utah State and their season. But we're going to turn the page on this 4 o'clock hour, top of 5 o'clock hour. We'll talk a little NFL. But then also we'll dive into a little Indiana. There's a sneaky tip for you people out there that want to get a head start on Indiana, those Hoosiers, even if both teams are on the bye week. I will tell you where I think they have attacked everybody this year. I don't think they'll change what to look for next Saturday. And then Bloomington, Jay Foreman, DP Austin. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hello, this is Mary Pat Waite. I've had the privilege of working with Lincoln families as their realtor for more than 31 years, and I'm so proud to be associated with MP Dodge Real Estate. For me, your transaction is unique in its own way. My experience allows me to bring you trusted care and a really great outcome. My NP Dodge family shares the same client focus.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
Ryan, with all this red and all these people around, I'm still not seeing the tailgate.
Todd Spidell, former body shop owner, terrible driver.
We're getting close. Now, did you know with 3 locations in Lincoln and hundreds of years of combined technician experience, we can get Husker fans back on the road even quicker and safer after their tailgate mishaps? Oh, Todd, turn left right here.
Left or right?
Left, right here.
Right?
Well, you wait for the tow truck. I'm getting a hot dog.
Well, I guess while I'm waiting. All right! Most recommended! Eustace Body Shop!
Woohoo! Dude, you should be on American Idol.
You really think so?
No.
Accidents happen, even to Husker fans. If it happens to you, call Eustace Body Shop, where our customers send their friends.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call John Henrys at 402-435-5555 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-435-5555.
Attention students and anyone else looking for a great deal. Sun Valley Lanes and Games has the ultimate weeknight special. For just $15.95, enjoy unlimited bowling, lucky putt mini golf, and laser tag. Flash your college ID at check-in to receive $2 off your admission. It's the perfect way to unwind Sunday through Thursday nights. Check out sunvalleylanes.com for hours and availability. Sun Valley Lanes and Games, located at 321 Victory Lane.
Lincoln's best place to meet, eat, and compete. Sun Valley.
Everyone should have a collection of something. For some, it's stamps or coins, expensive cars, or even watches. But for a lot of people, it's sports cards. And there's no better way to grow your collection than with the help of Capital City Sports Cards, Lincoln's first and only collector-first sports cards and memorabilia shop. Capital City Sports Cards connects collectors of all ages and demographics with unique collectibles sure to bring any collection to life, no matter the budget. Visit Capital City Sports Cards near 56th and Old Cheney or through their eBay storefront. Capital City Sports Cards, Lincoln's premier sports card and memorabilia store.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see mostly sunny skies and light winds and warm temperatures with a high around 90. Tonight, cloudy skies with a low around 55. And tomorrow, we'll see mostly sunny skies and light winds and an afternoon high around 84. Meteorologist Kyle Tucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
At Farm Bureau Financial Services, we strive to provide you with the right coverages for all your insurance needs by taking the time to meet with you and review what coverages best fit your needs. So whether you're in the market for home, auto, farm, business, life, or a combination of any of these coverages, we can help with making sure you, your family, or your business have the right coverage based on your individual needs. If you would like to review your insurance needs, please contact Ben Spurt with Farm Bureau Financial Services at 402-217-9945 or through email at ben.spurt@fbfs.com.
At Anderson Ford, we offer a 5-day return or exchange policy so you can make sure the vehicle you choose is the best vehicle for you. No pressure. Lease a 2024 Ford F-150 for $437 per month for 36 months. Experience better at Anderson Ford. Stock number 1004120, 437 per month, lease for 36 months with approved credit, 7,500 miles per year, 5,500 dual signing, no security deposit required. Tax, title, and license fees extra. Residency restrictions apply. Program subject to change. Must take new retail delivery from Anderson Auto Group by 9/30/2024. See dealer for details.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School. Sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves them, that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up, Jay Foreman, DP, Austin Orman, Old School crew coming at you live, 1040 O Street. Awesome day again in the low 80s, no wind. The weather next week changes a little bit, so enjoy yourself. Again, once again, if you get a chance, go to any of the 4 locations, 84th and Hadlock, 30th and Yankee Hill, 85th and Andermatt, and 168th and Maple. Stock up because you can grill when it gets a little nipply outside. So anyways, we're going to talk some more football here because there's a lot going on. We'll do some NFL stuff since San Fran played last night. A little bit undermanned. Went up to Seattle, jumped on them quick. Seattle came back, but I just feel like the connection between Geno Smith and Metcalf is just not there yet. And you could tell by that last interception, Metcalf was just going through the motions. And, I think, when you think about this, it's more of a conversation along the tiers of receivers, DP. Because when you see Metcalf, he's big like a defensive end. He's one of the fastest receivers in the league, powerful, still puts up great stats. But in high pressure situations, you see the same thing over and over and over. Whether it's he has it, then he tries to get an extra yard and fumbles, or he has a big drop. Last night doesn't square off a deep end cut. Geno's throwing to a spot where he should be. He rounds it off, and the reason why I think it's important, and we'll also I can bring the Indiana factor in, is because when you get in those situations, like when they're trying to march down the field, they're going to attack the hashes first before they go up the sideline. That's just the way offensive coordinators call things. They're just going to the middle of the field and out. Now, if you got like a little dumb rookie cornerback out there, you can take him out from the get-go. But if DJ Metcalf here's what I look at. If he ran that route at the combine where you round off, and you played receiver, right? When you round off 12 to 15 yard in, we used to call it bang 8. They're gonna, you know what they're gonna say? The same thing they said about him: straight line speed, poor route runner. But what tells me this far into your career, you have to know you have to run a perfect route, or a really that's a poor route, a decent route against a team that knows you. And it looked like he just chose just to kind of go through the motions.
How much of that do you give credit to the conversation that we didn't hear? Because there were several conversations throughout the course of that game, and you could see the disconnect, right?
Geno was looking at him like,
right,
what are you doing?
Well, but you saw Metcalf talking to the coaches,
right?
On
the headset,
right? On
he
the
said,
headset,
hey.
and then face to face,
hey, grub,
right,
Yeah.
face to face. You're talking about a systemic disconnect. Like that's a big disconnect. When a receiver decides, hey, I'm not going to run the route the way I know it needs to be run in order for it to be successful. Right? And then to say, because to me, I would ask the question, what route were you running and why? Because I would imagine that the receiver didn't buy into the route combination.
Yeah.
Right? He's like, nope, that's not going to be there.
Yeah, I think
if you go back and watch the tape of them after the play, it was almost as though he told him, I don't want to run that because it's not going to be completed.
Yeah.
Like I've had that conversation. I've heard that conversation. And to say, I know this is what you want me to run against this defense.
Yeah, in this coverage.
And in this coverage. But let me get tight at the top of the route.
Yeah.
Rather than loose. Let me make an adjustment that as a veteran receiver now, right? And who do you trust more, Geno or DK? Because that's the conversation they're going to have in Seattle for the next 6 days.
Yeah, and then the rest of the season. Because
right?
I think it's a bigger issue because there's an old saying, and you deal with this on defense. You know, where we struggled like for a few weeks with Vic Fangio and the way that the defense was being called. And obviously that it started because we were getting poor results. I always tell the story. When we ran cover 8, he's like, and we doing self scout during the bye week, and he put up, we're good in this part. We're good in this part. We're good in kind of the green zone. He's like, when we run cover 8 red zone, he's like, we're giving up a score 80% of the time. Aaron Glenn, who at that point didn't say anything, he stands up and is like, why the hell you keep calling it then? Right? Well, ding, ding, the light went on. We just went back to regular cover 8 because the way Vic wanted to run our cover 8 in the red zone was confusing because the second level thought we were playing it one way. The third level was playing it. It was just chaos. Well, then it came to this. This is what we decided as the defense. Okay, if he calls it, he wants to call it for a reason. we have to do a better job of making it right. You know what I'm saying? Because ultimately we're out there. Because the fan that's watching the game doesn't know that we hate playing cover 8 red zone with the red zone tag when we were balling in cover 8, 6, 4, 3, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Who do you appreciate regular time, right?
But the coach knows that Jay Foreman don't want to be in it.
Well, he did after then.
Right.
But here's the point though with DK though. That route is a route that you have to be able to run. That route, actually, you were very tight at the top of the route. You didn't want to run that route. And you know what? It's a part on the coach, right? If a player says, I don't want to do it, well, then I got to get,
somebody else.
You got Smith and Jigba over there who could definitely do it. You could maybe get Lockett do it, but you have to do it a different way because he's not a true number one. He's not 6'4", 240 pounds. So it's on the coach not to put him in that situation. And this is where you, and I hate saying this because you're supposed to be a professional. There's a lot of things you have to do in any profession that you don't like to do, but you do it, right? You know what I'm saying? There's no perfect.
I so want to ask you what that line is and how you define the line and how you maneuver.
Because the line is I want to win.
Right.
How bad do you want to win? It showed me he don't want to win that bad.
Or does it say that the coach?
No, he don't want to win that bad.
Because
that route right there was a give up route. Like he don't give a dang. I can guarantee you, he's probably in his big house right now. He might not tell you. He's surrounded by his little buddies and his dude boys. He's got some regret because that route right there.
Oh, it's a terrible route.
That route right there. That's embarrassing for somebody that's of his stature.
Terrible route.
So that's a no respect for the game of football. This has had nothing to do with coaching, and it's also a route that actually you can run because you was winning the route. The only reason the guy got the interception, essentially you just said, here you go. Now, again,
was that a competition thing at Compete the Ball thing?
Well,
how would you describe it?
It was a little bit of everything. It was a little bit of giving up, no competition, no doing what you have to do, even when you don't want it. So what it tells me is you have no discipline.
Here's another thing. Here's a question for you. Is he hurt?
I don't know. He just looks too big to be hurt. He looked too big to be hurt. But this is the same.
But that would be the only logical,
because he couldn't come out of the break there. Now you have to know that as a coach. But I think with him
that was the thing that came to mind. One, I mean, the conversations were there, and there were several series prior to that where they did replace him, and they ran that route. And you saw it come off, but you also didn't have a finisher make the play.
But his history with San Francisco is not very good.
Well, listen.
From Ward, when Ward was there, when Jimmy Ward was there, they was rat-a-tat-tatting his big behind for a lot.
100%.
And here's the dime on him. Mm-hmm. You can get in his head. How big and strong and physical, you can get him to do something to lose a game.
It's sad to me that he opened himself up to these discussions.
Right, because he's too good of a player. And he's came a long way, though. You know what I'm saying? You got to think he came in and everybody gave him respect to run routes. He's gotten better. But I think what you see with a lot of guys, with his mental makeup, once they make it, they revert back to what was curtailing them. And with Pete Carroll being gone, and he's the big dog on the team, there's no Bobby Wagner to tighten him up. So if Bobby Wagner is there, that doesn't happen. There's no Bobby Wagner there. He's the senior statesman on that team. He's the one that's most high profile. He might be the highest paid. He's the most prolific. That's the guy. So now guess who he's in competition with? The head coach.
Okay,
the head coach.
So, but here's the thing. I don't think DK's ever been their 1A. It's always been Tyler Lockett.
Under pressure.
Lockett was the guy, and you bring in Smith to kind of add to in Jigba. You bring him in, and it should create the perfect trio because they all do different things at different levels.
Yeah, should all make each other better.
And then how do you find yourself in a game-winning critical situation going away from the two route-running disciplined receivers and making the throw to your most athletic?
Well, this is the conversation that they're having up there in Seattle, and it's going to be on a loop repeat. And then they got it all weekend. They'll have it all next, because that loss last night stung, considering, and it stung two ways, because they started so slow, Then they picked it up through the air in the pass game, and then there was a dud like that on a route that they had the potential of catch and run or run after the catch to process. He's so big, fast, and strong. He can outrun angles and he can run through tackles. It's all about what if. DP has a point. Why would you put a guy that's uninterested in running that route out there? You have a guy that is big, fast, and strong in Smith and Jigba that can run that route and just flip them on the side.
Well, you run the spread with Noah Fant running that route, and you get all.
You can run it like what Gronkowski did against the Chiefs a couple years ago. There's plenty of ways to get to it. I just think, matter of fact, I know it's a battle of a guy that's trying to pee on his territory, flap his wings a little bit, and you got a coach that's coming from the Ravens and McDonald that's no nonsense. He's straight out of John Harbaugh, so he's not like.
What did DK learn last night? Don't pee into the wind, DK.
Yep. Yeah, he did. He learned
downwind, not upwind. Downwind.
Don't pee on yourself, DK.
He learned don't eat yellow snow. That's the best tip.
You didn't accomplish what you thought you were accomplishing.
Yeah. But you know what? It's a tough loss for Seattle. They after starting 3-0, they're now losing 3 in a row. And let me tell you something, man. Losing 3 games in a row in the NFL is like death. And doing it going into a mini bye week sucks. And I hate saying it. Would you rather lose on Thursday or Sunday? I'd rather lose on Sunday because at least you got, less time in between games. They got all weekend to let that fester.
Well, he'd go to Starkville. You can go hang out.
Yeah, he'll probably be down there. No, actually, he'll be down there in Baton Rouge. Yeah, with Lane. Obviously, after the aftermath of the Jets, Austin, with my man Brickhouse taking over. Getting his first couple of days of practicing with Ron at the helm, new offensive coordinator. You're starting to really hear the facts that came out.
What did we hear, Jay?
You just heard that.
What did we hear?
Well, this is what I do know.
Yeah.
I won't say names. I'll just say this is what I was told by 2 different people that they were going to make a change. Right, it happens all the time. I talked about Joe Pendry, and Joe Pendry still was the coordinator when we went to the playoffs 2 years. They just took a little bit they took Joe Pendry from being the full coordinator, that means passing game and run game, and just had him focus on one. Then they brought somebody else in, or not brought somebody, they just elevated somebody else in to make Joe Pendry more efficient. It happens all the time. And that was what they wanted to see, just based on different ideas, maybe in a lot of times, and I'll talk about this just from a defensive standpoint. And I'll talk about this when I was in Buffalo as a defensive standpoint. Now, granted, we always had pretty good defenses in Buffalo, but when like Wade would probably jump in and call some stuff and versus Ted Cottrell, it's the flow of the game. It's no different than having a catcher that, you might have thought worked well with Austin. Well, then the mojo's off or whatever. It's like a caddy with a golfer. They've been really good. Well, just the mojo's off. Then you bring a new caddy, and then it's no different. It's not the caddy himself. It's just a different flow, a different line of communication, and that's what they were trying to do. Aaron did not like that. Obviously, he's willing to go to bat for Nathaniel Hackett, to the utmost, and called in the ultimate favor, and essentially he had the last little ace in the hole and got Robert Saleh removed. I've been on teams where guys have gotten coaches removed. I don't know if I would. That never would have crossed my mind. I grew up around coaches, like Bud Grant, and I just would never do that. I mean, first of all, I don't think I was ever in that type of position as a player to do that. It just would never cross my mind. I understand it sometimes if it's. Now, I will say when it becomes personal, kind of like with DeAndre Hopkins and Bill O'Brien, I do understand that. I don't even think DeAndre Hopkins did it. He just removed himself from Houston.
As the great poet Jay Foreman has once said, there's no one as petty as a coach.
Yeah, I mean, and that is true. There is nobody. There's a petty as a coach, and that depends on the coach. And so the aftermath is that, Aaron Rodgers talked to Woody Johnson. Now everybody wants to get in who called who. At the end of the day, they were on the phone. The conversation was had 5 minutes later. Robert Saleh is not only fired, they walked the man out of the building. I mean,
sir, this way. You can't get all your stuff.
Your car is waiting.
That's probably a
It's
little
running.
right. So that means
It's already running. No, nothing to worry about. It's running.
So we got
It's
you a
over
car.
here.
Yeah, we already took your keys out your desk. So your car that you got or whatever, we got it. And, and it's not an ideal situation for Brickhouse to be the head coach, but it'd be interesting to see how he does the rest of the season.
Have you ever been walked out of a building like that, Jay?
Oh, what for what?
No, like fired, terminated, separated.
No. I mean, I don't know why they would do that. Like that, they didn't do it with Adam Gase, though. They were saying they said just did it with him. I don't know. I just think that.
Am I wrong for wanting the Colts to hire Robert Saleh midseason as their DC?
I think San Francisco wants him back. As San Francisco was able to win that game, their defense still is booty with all that talent. I doubt he does it. He probably just tries to figure out his next move. I just think that
his next move is Indy. I figured it out for him.
Yeah. I think the Jets are they're just, the season's over for them.
Boy, we didn't have that in the pool. Didn't have that in the lotto.
At 2 and 3?
Did either of you hear Eric Mangini's theory from 2 weeks ago?
Mm-mm.
He said, watch out if the Jets lose in London because Woody Johnson, former ambassador to the UK, had all the friends at the game.
So he's embarrassed?
Yeah. So Eric Mangini says he wonders if Woody Johnson just got petty. Said, you lost in front of my friends on top of the other stuff.
Or what if your friends bet on you in London? Your big money friends bet on you.
Or that.
And you lost.
There's a lot that probably goes into it, but I can see that doing.
Ooh.
Eric Mangini's been around that organization.
Yeah, yeah. And Eric Mangini has benefited off that. So, Eric Mangini has one of the best coaching. I guess the 48 hours of coaching it was magnificent. He was with the Jets, and they were decent with him, but then he lost his way. They were horrible. He gets fired on a Monday. Tuesday night, he's coaching the Browns.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen anything like when did he because I start thinking when did you interview? Who else did they interview? What did you say in 24 to let's say 36 hours? Mm-hmm. What could you have done to be so appealing for Cleveland to say, you know what, pump the brakes? The dude that just ran one of the blue blood or one of the marquee franchises into the ground. We need him here in our we need him to revive Cleveland.
It may have been done in the previous 48 hours.
Yeah, I know.
In the previous 48 hours.
Yeah, things a little shaky over here.
It's the other 48 hours that we forget about.
We have a word for that now. We call it tampering.
Yeah. I mean, it's in
the other 48 hours, it doesn't matter what you do. We're going to give you a job, my friend.
I mean, it's
because it's your boy. It's your boy Mangini.
Yeah, it's not. Well, it's Mangini, right? Then he turned around and then he told on Belichick, and then he went out to San Francisco and he's like, you know what? I feel like I'm gonna be on TV now. And he's actually pretty good, and he's actually funny with Nick Wright and all those. But
of course, he's hilarious. He knows where all the bodies are buried.
Yeah, he can play up that. He's kind of like a bootleg version of Bill Belichick.
Yeah,
he's dry. But he has a little bit. He is, though. To be honest with you, right?
Never thought about it like that, but
he is.
Yeah,
I mean, I will give.
So
you know what?
Good.
Bill Belichick is actually pretty good. What he said, he's like, remember, he's like, all right, I've seen enough of Taylor Swift. We need to do some football. Right when he was on the Manicast. I mean, he actually is pretty funny because he has a ton of shows. It's like him and Matt Patricia have their own breakdown. He's on there with Chad Ochocinco and all those guys, and then he does his own stuff. He's actually, it's good. He's more hireable now than maybe last year, but Eric Mangini is the bootleg version of Bill Belichick. Dry, he kind of throws some daggers at you, and then he is kind of funny, and then he doesn't. When everybody else is laughing, he just sits there and is like, "Yeah, I know I'm funny."
That's the subtle flex that lets you know.
Yeah,
when he's not laughing at his own jokes.
Yeah,
when the guy knows he's funny, but he's not laughing.
Because he rehearsed that in his hotel room or
he was waiting.
Nailed it.
Perfect execution.
That's exactly what it is.
Perfect play call.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
All you need is a little pencil. You can be like Matt Patricia, put the pencil in his ear and stuff, man. It's hey man, look, I will say this, it's not all coaches, but there's some coaches that are petty. I mean, look, when you think of Matt Patricia, we'll talk to him about him in particular. when he was, and this has nothing to do with him as when he was or as a person, or it does as a person, but not as like being petty. But the way he goes, like some of them can be like over. I get it now with as much money as you're making and how you can be held accountable for like the janitor, and that's an extreme case, but somebody that you hire could be way down the food chain and they mess up, then everybody's like, well, you hired him, right? So you have to be a control freak. Darius Slay told this story on his podcast. And I was, I always try to listen to different people's stuff. And he was like, man, Matt Patricia essentially found a way around he fined him for something else because he was working out with his trainer. That's the weird, right? How dare you? I'm going to fine you. Right. So he's like, I got fined twice. I got fined the money I paid for my trainer. And then I got fined in a roundabout way for trying to be a better player. And so that's where where you see some of the hangups of, whether it's being petty or sometimes going overboard and wanting to know what anybody and everybody's doing. But, when you're winning like the Patriots, you can do it. But then when you're winning like Detroit was, you can't do it. And especially when you have a pretty good corner that was traded very quickly after that to Philly. But that's NFL talk. We didn't get to talk about our Pittsburgh Steelers and Russell Wilson being number 2. Cam Newton made his appearance today, which I'm not really sure I would have probably pushed over the edge to be on 4 Letter Network, but they must be struggling to have Cam on there. And he thought that Russell Wilson should get traded. I want you two to think right now. Two things. Would you trade Russell or Fields? And where would you trade them? Considering what's going on right now in the league, right? You got Aiden O'Connell ready to lead the Raiders back, man. Look like a bootleg, right?
Wow.
There you go. He's worse than that Buffalo quarterback that John Gruden brought in. What's the dude?
Peterman.
Oh no, but JP got money.
Yeah, he just
but
left.
He's not the Peterman.
Yeah. JP Lossman just got hurt and left.
Yeah.
Peterman threw 8 passes, 3 for picks, 2 for touchdown, like interception touchdown. Yeah. Worst in NFL history and kept getting jobs. He's probably in the NFL now. Anyways, we'll take a quick break, come back. We'll see where Pittsburgh, as the world turns in Pittsburgh, where the quarterback's going to end up. If they end up anywhere, Jay Foreman, DP Austin, we'll be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and Jay on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You're counting on your team to win, so why not prove it? By placing your bets at Warhorse Sportsbook. Their win is your win. Put your money where your mouth is on nearly every sporting event. Use the Warhorse app to check odds and build your bets before placing your wagers in person at Warhorse Casino, including live in-game betting. No bets, no glory. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
Fall is here, which means it's time to dive into a new lineup of autumn flavors at Wings and Rings, your home away from home during football season. Their all-star lineup of wing sauces is adding 2 new impact players, curry garlic and pumpkin chili. Need something delicious before kickoff? How about starting your meal with their brand new chorizo nachos and loaded fries? You better act fast. These new tastes of autumn won't be here long. So make the trip to one of their 2 Lincoln locations today on O Street or Village Lane.
Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
Ryan, with all this red and all these people around, I'm still not seeing the tailgate.
Todd Spidell, former body shop owner, terrible driver.
We're getting close. Now, did you know with 3 locations in Lincoln and hundreds of years of combined technician experience, we can get Husker fans back on the road even quicker and safer after their tailgate mishaps? Oh, Todd, turn left right here.
Left or right?
Left, right here.
Right?
Well, you wait for the tow truck. I'm getting a hot dog.
Well, I guess while I'm waiting. All right, most recommended Eustace Body Shop.
Woohoo! Dude, you should be on American Idol.
You really think so?
No.
Accidents happen, even to Husker fans. If it happens to you, call Eustace Body Shop, where our customers send their friends.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Garage doors can be expensive. Are you keeping yours in the best condition possible? This is Cameron Hall with Doors Plus. Doors Plus is a locally owned business that prides itself on the fast, reliable, and friendly service. Doors Plus offers flexible scheduling so you can book an appointment that fits your busy day. My team and I will come out to your property, both commercial and residential, and provide you with the necessary information you need to make sure your garage door is in working and smooth condition. Give Doors Plus a call today at 402-590-5800 to book an appointment and learn more about our preventative maintenance plans. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call John Henrys at 402-435-5555 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-435-5555.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning. Now in our new time, we're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
Everyone should have a collection of something. For some, it's stamps or coins, expensive cars, or even watches. But for a lot of people, it's sports cards. And there's no better way to grow your collection than with the help of Capital City Sports Cards, Lincoln's first and only collector-first sports cards and memorabilia shop. Capital City Sports Cards connects collectors of all ages and demographics with unique collectibles sure to bring any collection to life, no matter the budget. Visit Capital City Sports Cards near 56th and Old Cheney or through their eBay storefront. Capital City Sports Cards, Lincoln's premier sports card and memorabilia store.
At Anderson Ford, we offer a 5-day return or exchange policy so you can make sure the vehicle you choose is the best vehicle for you. No pressure. Lease a 2024 Ford F-150 for $437 per month for 36 months. Experience better at Anderson Ford. Stock number 1004120, 437 per month, lease for 36 months with approved credit, 7,500 miles per year, 5,500 dual signing, no security deposit required. Tax, title, and license fees extra. Residency restrictions apply. Program subject to change. Must take new retail delivery from Anderson Auto Group by 9/30/2024. See dealer for details.
The temperature and leaves are falling daily, so that means it's time for a new pair of shoes for the fall season from Brown Shoe Fit. Now, through October 31st, take $15 off any regular priced fall shoe and boots. Brands like Keen, Obos, Echo, Taos, and Atrex, all $15 off. Some exclusions may apply. See store for details. This is the sale that you've all been waiting for. So get down to Brown Shoe Fit on 66th and Q.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
J, former DP, Austin, old school crew, 1040 O Street, live in effect. What turns in Pittsburgh? Justin Fields has done okay. Russell Wilson got that calf back decently right. Tomlin says he will probably be the number 2 against the Raiders, which is the Raiders are, if Max Crosby is playing, Russell do not play. But like I said before, Cam Newton has made his debut on, I think it was First Take or whatever. One of the first things, of course, you want to come out with, guns a-blazing. But he did say something that actually, Cam's a pretty smart dude. He said, if he was Russell Wilson or Pittsburgh, try to find a place to move him. If I'm Russell Wilson and I think I want to move, I try to get in the game today or this weekend. And the first place I'm calling is the Raiders. Easy fit. You'll be the best one. Be good kind of into the off the beaten path. Less pressure as well.
That's the only spot.
Miami?
No. If you're Miami, well, no. For Russell with Tyreek.
Oof. Yeah. That
right?
might be
the best big ball thrower.
Oh, man. Yeah, that would be.
Right? He can just sit back and launch some stuff.
Yeah.
Quick pitch and catch to Tyreek. Let him get yards after catch. Pump fake. Let him get deep. Get it out of his hand. Put some air under it.
Yeah.
Those are two things. You've got a running game. You've got a decent defense. Defense has issues.
Yeah.
But that's not really his concern.
No. I mean,
he says be gentle on my Steelers. So he chimes in
we're trying to make sure you don't have QB controversy, AD. I mean, I just think that
you don't want him, AD. What are you talking about? AD don't want him. I offered AD a Russell Wilson jersey, Steelers jersy. He hit me with the Neo, man. He was like one hand up, stop that jersey right where it is.
Yeah, I wouldn't want one of those either. It's kind of like the Carmelo Anthony Atlanta Hawks jersey. If I'm Pittsburgh, I just have to evaluate my season. Or do we like what we have? I mean, if I'm Pittsburgh, right? I mean, just think about this. I mean, if I'm Pittsburgh, I'll call the Raiders. I'll trade you Russell Wilson for Devontae Adams.
It's an expiring. Doesn't hurt anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, the Steelers are a playoff team.
Right. And what do they need the most?
They're a playoff team. And
they need a receiver, a legit receiver that you can trust. If you really want to evaluate Justin Fields, say, did we have a diamond in the rough and somebody that we can move forward with in the next year or two? Because if you draft a rookie, you're not making the playoffs, right? So if you got somebody, especially with his ability to run, and he's shown the ability to pass, right, at times, right? If you get him a legit number one for 6, 7, 8 weeks or whenever you decide to trade him, that's your best chance. You can't depend on Pickens at all.
Who has more trade value, Russell Wilson or Justin Fields?
That's what I asked you guys.
Here's where I was.
What do you think, AD? AD driving somewhere.
AD,
he's going to Gothenburg, ain't he? No, that's what he's watching his nephew.
That sounds right.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he's going to watch his nephew.
Yeah, getting some traction in the recruit game. Have AD out there hyping you up. I may be the only person in this pool, but I have a sneaky suspicion that the Steelers are going to need Russell Wilson.
I think
they're going to need him.
I think the best case scenario is they need Russell. He comes in, he's healthy, and they go on a run.
Yep, because every tendency will be broken.
Yeah.
Is that best case though? Because then you're probably obligated to re-sign him.
We'll worry about that next year.
Well, no, but I mean,
but if you're Mike Tomlin and you want the big picture, does Mike Tomlin have to worry about next year, or does Mike Tomlin have to worry about now? Because if Mike Tomlin
if you're
is
asking
safe,
Terry Bradshaw, he's fired yesterday.
And see, that's a problem. If Mike Tomlin is safe, whichever quarterback has more trade value, get picks for him.
Yeah.
Get picks. I know you want Devontae.
But why do you care about picks? If you're not going to be there, why do you care?
That's what I'm saying.
If you're Tomlin, I want to win.
Right, but
no, he's saying if he's not on the hot seat.
Yeah.
If he's not on the hot seat, and you get to the playoffs, you shouldn't be on the hot seat. If Tomlin gets to the playoffs, he's the team that nobody wants to see in the first round anyway.
Yeah.
But how's that worked out for the Steelers recently? They've squeaked in and not seriously threatened, right? I think Steelers fans are getting hungry for a little bit more. They forget how good they have it with Tomlin, how good a coach he is.
That's their fault. That sounds like Nebraska fans a few years ago when you got too good for your own britches. No, you're the Steelers. You are happy to be in the playoffs, and you're happy to be competitive in the playoffs. You're happy that you have players that you like, players that represent the city.
Yeah.
Those are far bigger issues than you beating the Kansas City Chiefs, because that's the only thing that makes the rest of it matter.
Right. Yeah. You ain't beating the Chiefs, and everybody knows it. I think the funny thing is, here's what the national dudes, and I saw somebody talking about Mike Tomlin's not that good of a coach. This, and this. Not obviously, I know the dude's probably never had a sweat on his brow. But nevertheless, you're starting to hear it a lot more. Here's the thing about Mike Tomlin and the Steelers is that these national guys that want some notoriety or to stick out, they're an easy target because just like if you criticize Nebraska or say something about Nebraska, you'll get because Pittsburgh fans are everywhere. They're just like Nebraska fans.
Yep, here they come.
If you fire Mike Tomlin because he continues to make the playoffs with a depleted roster after losing a Hall of Fame quarterback, then the Steelers, and I don't think the Steelers will, then the Steelers will be going down the toilet just like other teams that have done it.
Mm.
And but if I'm the Steelers, Mike Tomlin's not on the hot seat. I am trying to find a legit receiver that I can trust.
And you're not free. It's not like you're free agent shopping on the black card. It's not like you're right. It's not like you're at the top of the draft board either. You're constantly fair to middling in the middle. You're not really getting the top level players because you don't have the checkbook, or at least you don't have access to it. And then you're left to draft in the middle of the draft at difficult positions to draft.
They've made the Steelers over the history of them going deep in the playoffs, getting to the Super Bowl, winning the Super Bowl, getting to the Super Bowl and losing against the Green Bay, and then obviously sustained success. Their recipe, how they've done it, is through the draft, but developing late round or mid to late round draft picks. When you think this, Hines Ward, Antoine Randall L, Plaxico Burress, I think was second round. Antonio Brown was fifth round. Johnson before he left was fifth round. Pickens was fourth. Now he's, his head is not right, or maybe he was second.
Can you trade Pickens? Does he have any value, or just no team want that headache?
Well, again, we've done this before because you had Claypool or whatever his name was. He was a headache. I got to get rid of Pickens.
Juju, but you've done that, right? Like that's a part of it. Listen, what we know is that Tomlin manages humans in the NFL better than anybody else. So if he reaches a point of no return,
right,
he's letting you know, hey, bro, don't go shopping here.
Right.
Like this is not the spot.
Yeah.
Which is why
the milk's gone bad.
The player might have value. The person,
right, that decreases the value.
Teams want to take that on, right?
But you know what?
But there's somebody that wants the talent rather than thinking that, well, he's in Pittsburgh and it's really difficult.
Yeah.
So go find him. Find that team.
But if he comes to be the Niners' number 3 pick receiver,
that's fine.
Listen, you having a bad day? Go have a seat. Like you can't do that in Pittsburgh. They need him in Pittsburgh to be the guy.
And that's part of the reason why he is who he is. I think.
Yep.
I think for Pittsburgh to get to where people think they should, and all that, they're going to have to, in this day and age, because they aren't running the ball at the same clip that they had thought they were with the fire and lightning, with their 2 running backs. So that means you have to be able to get a guy that's legit. And people don't realize how good Heath Miller was as a tight end. He's a Hall of Famer tight end, but he probably won't get in for some time. He was the ultimate X factor. Yeah. He was the safety net. Yeah. He was the big game player. He was the edge setter in the offense. He was like another offensive lineman. If there wasn't Gronk in the last, and then also with Gonzalez towards the end, and then obviously
Olsen, they're the 4,
right? But then there's if there's not 2 of those guys, Heath Miller is the guy you're talking about. How good he was, and when he retired, it was out of nowhere. He's like, all right, I'm tired of dominating. I got something else. He's probably like a math teacher or whatever he's doing. Where you got to think they don't have Freiermuth is pretty good, but Heath Miller was an X factor across the middle. He softened up the defense for all those receivers I mentioned before that were actually invested into the Pittsburgh way. I think ever since Antonio Brown, that you can't continue to try to hit. They've hit so many grand slams.
Mm-hmm.
And so everybody's thinking like, well, once you strike out in that bottom of the 9th, base is loaded. Oh, you can't hit anymore.
That's all they remember.
Right.
That's all they remember is the last debate.
Right. But you've done Reggie Jackson in October for how long, right?
Can I ask you both a question? Because I think Tomlin is a big part of the discussion. But if we said there was a coach in the AFC who was going to somehow in a year or 2 overtake Andy Reid and the KC Chiefs, Tomlin is the first name that comes to mind in the AFC when it comes to coaches who could actually turn the thing around and be that good.
Or just keep it rolling.
Right? Like we understand that the Steelers there's no other coach in the AFC. I mean, at least he's at the top of the discussion.
How far behind is John Harbaugh?
Harbaugh, I mean, literally, he's there at the door. I mean, it's a small room.
It's those two.
Right?
And there's crossover between them too.
Right.
So,
It's a small room. Yeah. And then the other Harbaugh.
Yeah.
Right? Because you go, well, we know he'll do whatever's required.
Yeah.
So whatever needs to be done, we'll get it done.
Yeah. It's hard to replace those dudes because it's not just coaching. Everybody looks at it like X's and O's. What Mike Tomlin does, and he's had plenty of chances to leave, he embodies Pittsburgh. And Pittsburgh is hit grand slams every single time. You went from Chuck Noll to Bill Cowher to Mike Tomlin.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And just think how many coaches Cleveland didn't have, how many coaches Buffalo didn't have,
quarterbacks,
how many quarterbacks, the Chicago Bears, all that. These guys have been spinning their wheels. These guys, oh man, you guys know we got the coaches. And the reason why Pittsburgh's been successful because they've been able to get this right. And then obviously they got it right with Big Ben. But they shaped everything around Big Ben. They got to get the quarterback right, shape everything around him, because that's one thing that doesn't matter who's with Pittsburgh. They're going to play defense. That's one thing that's going to happen. It don't matter if it's 2024, 2044. They're going to be playing defense in Pittsburgh. And so that's a guarantee. They got to get everything else going. But great segment, as always. We're going to take a quick break, come back. We got a quick segment here. And then we're going to start this Friday off. We're going to talk about you know what? I saw a thing right here. I was listening to a high school recruiting expert. I want to ask you guys to think about this. Can or do you think it's a big deal parents losing their kids' scholarships on recruiting visits? Because when the rule was passed that you can start bringing your parents, it was thought of as going to help the kids make better decisions. Well, now when you start breaking bread, you're like, yeah, man, dude over there smacks a little bit too much. We know he's going to smack, so we're going to, he won't be at the training table anymore. So anyway, Jay Foreman, DP, Austin, we'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Attention students and anyone else looking for a great deal. Sun Valley Lanes and Games has the ultimate weeknight special. For just $15.95, enjoy unlimited bowling, lucky putt mini golf, and laser tag. Flash your college ID at check-in to receive $2 off your admission. It's the perfect way to unwind Sunday through Thursday nights. Check out sunvalleylanes.com for hours and availability. Sun Valley Lanes and Games, located at 321 Victory Lane.
Lincoln's best place to meet, eat, and compete. Sun Valley.
It's the fall sports season, and that means that the school year is back in session and you're planning road trips for Nebraska football games and following your kids around to their different events. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors Lot is full of great vehicles to take home so you don't have to worry about your current car struggling through another season. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Lake and find your next ride. As your fall schedule gets busy, you'll need a reliable way to get to your destinations. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket as soon as the clock hits 0 for the Jay Foreman postgame show. Listen to expert analysis from the Husker Hall of Famer, an 8-year NFL veteran, for 90 minutes after the game. The Jay Foreman postgame show, sponsored by Anderson Ford, Tanner's Bar and Grill, Tavern 180, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Vinnie Kreekak of State Farm Insurance, and Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Garage doors can be expensive. Are you keeping yours in the best condition possible? This is Cameron Hall with Doors Plus. Doors Plus is a locally owned business that prides itself on the fast, reliable, and friendly service. Doors Plus offers flexible scheduling so you can book an appointment that fits your busy day. My team and I will come out to your property, both commercial and residential, and provide you with the necessary information you need to make sure your garage door is in working and smooth condition. Give Doors Plus a call today at 402-590-5800 to book an appointment and learn more about our preventative maintenance plans. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red.
The temperature and leaves are falling daily, so that means it's time for a new pair of shoes for the fall season from Brown Shoe Fit. Now, through October 31st, take $15 off any regular priced fall shoe and boots. Brands like Keen, Obos, Echo, Taos, and Atrex, all $15 off. Some exclusions may apply. See store for details. This is the sale that you've all been waiting for. So get down to Brown Shoe Fit on 66th and Q.
At Anderson Ford, we offer a 5-day return or exchange policy so you can make sure the vehicle you choose is the best vehicle for you. No pressure. Lease a 2024 Ford F-150 for $437 per month for 36 months. Experience better at Anderson Ford. Stock number 1004120, 437 per month, lease for 36 months with approved credit, 7,500 miles per year, 5,500 due with signing, no security deposit required. Tax, title, and license fees extra. Residency restrictions apply. Program subject to change. Must take new retail delivery from Anderson Auto Group by 9/30/2024. See dealer for details.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see mostly sunny skies and light winds and warm temperatures with a high around 90. Tonight, cloudy skies with a low around 55. And tomorrow, we'll see mostly sunny skies and light winds and an afternoon high around 84. Meteorologist Kyle Tucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
The Lincoln Stars' next 2 home games are next weekend against a pair of Iowa opponents. Join us Friday, October 11th for a 7:05 p.m. matchup with the Des Moines Buccaneers, and then again the next night, Saturday, October 12th, for a 6:05 p.m. puck drop against the Waterloo Blackhawks. October is here, and we can't wait to see you at the Icebox. Get your tickets for next weekend's games and all future home games now at LincolnStars.com.
The Rabbit Hole Bakery, located at 8th and Q in the Haymarket, is the ideal place for fresh breakfast items or desserts made daily. Cream puffs, cinnamon rolls, carrot cake, sweet potato, pecan cookies, brownies, blondies. Do I need to keep going? What about bread pudding with homemade bourbon caramel sauce? Stop by the Rabbit Hole Bakery at 8th and Q in the Haymarket today to satisfy your cravings. And if you're looking for larger group orders, they do that too. Order ahead on their website at therabbitholebakery.com today.
In every office, there's 2 types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe. Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Well, we're back. Jay Foreman, DP, Off Norman. Little pivot here quick since we got about 5 minutes. Me and Nick are back on the mics, 8 o'clock tonight. North Star Gators against Grand Island Islanders. Battle here, upstart team in North Star, 4-2, making some waves quietly. Are trying to do some big things. Some guys that I coached and trained are going to be out there playing. But DP posed a question during the break, man. It was interesting. He asked what happened last night. Obviously, if you hadn't heard, Millard South played Lincoln High, was up 63-0 at halftime. Game was called. And I think it shed light on a bigger picture on the difference of, I guess, mentality in Lincoln versus Omaha, right? As far as competitiveness. Now, granted, like Millard South is a very talented team, well coached, great athletes, and it's the closest thing to a prep school type of IMG, that type of roster that we've probably seen in quite some time here in the state of Nebraska.
How different is what Millard South is doing from West Side on its run, or Bell West in its run, or North and Central on their run? Is it different?
Well, I think with North and Central, it was so long ago. The idea of really accumulating those type of players from all over to go to those schools wasn't happening. I think, I don't look, man. I think like when you say, "Oh, well, they recruited," then it's taken away from them actually. They're immensely talented. The players have been moving there. Now, whether they recruited or not, that's their business. Recruiting happens all the time. It happens that just happens, and that's what happens when you can, it's open enrollment, and so be it. And you're gonna have the West Side run. You're gonna have, like you said, the North and Central run. We had the Southeast run.
Bell West.
You'll have those runs, and you're having a run with Miller South, so you got to respect it, and you just got to find a way to compete. But I think it's a bigger issue here that I've talked about. Whether this is the great thing about coaching and calling games, is I think it's more of the mentality of Lincoln or just Lancaster County or Lincoln sports. Like, you got to become more competitive. You got to provide these guys with opportunities to get better. There is talent in Lincoln. DP saw it. Everybody's asking me about all the kids he saw at the Malone Center. There's talent. You have to provide options for it. Now, I will tell you, the mentality is different. A lot of those kids that you're seeing that are really good at West Side, Millard South, Bellevue, when they were all those kids, right? They all do other things to help them become the players that we see lighten up the scoreboard at 63-0. It's not just, hey, you know what, we just have 4 bowls of Frosted Flakes and a couple donuts and we're just gonna roll out. No, they work at it. They work at it. Not saying the kids in Lincoln don't work at it, but you gotta put in the work. You gotta seek excellence. You gotta seek trainers. You gotta do 7-on-7. You have got to train. You have to dedicate. If you don't, you will get embarrassed. You will get blown out. You will continue. It doesn't matter. It could be Omaha South. It could be Millard North next, because Millard North is on the come up. They're not running their like wing T offense anymore. They're running legit. They got athletes up there and a coach out there that's going to put the pressure on you. So it doesn't matter what school it is, and it could be Kearney. You can get on a bus and go out to Kearney and get your head beat in quickly and get sent home.
Just ask Class B about McCook.
Right. And you can go out to Scotts Bluff and get beat up real quick, and that's a long ride home. You can go to North Platte and get DDT'd out there, and that's a long ride home at night. And the only thing you're getting is McDonald's or something, right? With the fries the fries have been in there for
Soggy ones.
The soggy ones. You can have a long ride home because sports has changed at the high school level. It has changed all around you. Now it's up to everybody within this, I guess, pool or whatever, to wake up. Because I would say, is that a good high school experience for those kids? Is that a fair experience? No, it's not. Now, like, granted, the talent is not there, but this has been going on for a long time. A long time.
And I think maybe part of the reason it's been swept under the rug is that there hasn't been that one dominant program, because it has been somewhat cyclical.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'll take your word for it that it has been going on for a long time, but maybe that's part of the reason it hasn't been fixed, solved, addressed, maybe is the best word, is because you don't see one school going on a 10-year run of dominance. Like, I mean, look at Coach Saunders and Omaha Scout volleyball, right? Like, legit. Yeah. Coach Saunders is one of the best. Yeah. But in football, in Class A at least, it's been, 3 or 4 years here, 3 or 4 years there. Sometimes you just hit on a class and then you supplement, and that's a different conversation.
Well, what these dudes, I mean, obviously West Side was for real last year. Mm-hmm. Okay. What these dudes are doing right now is, here's what you need.
That is not.
Listen.
I'll say it if you don't want me.
Yeah. That's not real. Yeah, listen. All these kids are juniors, though.
Mm-hmm.
So you about to run it back unless they all reclassify. So, we're just done. That's not going to happen. You better get your game right, get your mind right. I ain't hard to find.
Yeah, that part.
I ain't hard to find.
There are coaches all over the place who are good people with good leadership skills who make good decisions. Like, I listen, man.
We will turn the swag on down here in Lincoln. I will ride with you down here in Lincoln. And we will drive up there to Omaha and we will cause some havoc. It's not going to be right away, but I guarantee you, what year is it? 2024?
Jay Foreman just needs 50 slew foot. He's got him cooking.
Yeah, because we're going to be in the mud. We're going to get down. I guarantee you by 2030, the conversation will be a little different.
Man.
Some people be PO'd a little bit. But anyways, good week. Turning in at 8 o'clock, me and Nick. Who is he? Joe Buck, and I'm Gus Johnson. Good time. It's going to be a great game, man. There's going to be some good athletes out there. I'm looking forward to it. Appreciate your support all week. Listen in on the weekends, too, because we got a lot of stuff going on. Got some college football preview tomorrow for a couple hours, I think, with DP and Chancellor.
Yes, sir.
Then we got our Sunday lineup, like always, and everything is on podcast as well. Jay Foreman, DP Austin. We'll holler at you.